if you are ignorant of the law that governs your country, you will always be a slave to those who misinterpret it to suit their narratives. Coming up, well, guys, as I've been always saying that mainstream media in South Africa always defend illegal immigrants flooding this country. Well, I have an interview here between my girl, Jacinta Ngobese-Zuma, with one of the journalists from NewzRoom Africa, Naledi Moleo, a journalist who always defends illegal immigrants. Right? Now, I would like you to just watch Jacinta here stripping this journalist and exposing her bias against the people of South Africa. Check this out.
We're joined by the founder of March, Jacinta Ngobese-Zuma.
I think it's been a very busy couple of days and weeks, actually. As you know, March started in March, and it's been a couple of months now that we've been making the call to government to attend to the matter of illegal immigrants. And the pace at which it's been happening has not been to the satisfaction of the general public of South Africa. As you know, March are ordinary citizens of the country of South Africa who are not in any way politically affiliated to any political party. So it's just us as South Africans saying that we've had enough of the crime, we've had enough of the influx, the damage to infrastructure, the shortage of resources, and the many other problems that have been brought on by illegal immigrants in South Africa. And we've made this call to government, and we have been constantly blue-ticked and not given the attention that we feel that this matter deserves, because it is a crisis. And so therefore we decided that we have been asked and tasked as South Africans to make sure that we protect this country and we protect its resources and its people. So that's what we've been doing lately, and making sure that the future of ourselves and our children is taken back to the hands that it rightfully belongs to, which is South Africans.
That sounds fair enough, guys, right? Because that's what most of us South Africans will support. I mean, as you know, the cry of the country right now of the illegal immigrant that's flooding this country. But for some reason, it seems like some journalists wouldn't agree with what Jacinta has just said right here. Listen to this.
But is that to say that March in various parts of the country, so in Durban, for instance, as well as in Rosettenville today, and this is with clarity that I'm looking for, that March protesters and your own members were outside healthcare facilities trying to stop foreign nationals from accessing healthcare facilities?
I think when using terms like trying to stop illegal immigrants from accessing, we take away from what the real issues are. Nobody's trying to stop illegal immigrants from entering into facilities. It doesn't start there. It starts at the point that we should not even have illegal immigrants in the country to begin with. And if the government is failing to protect South Africans, if the government is failing to protect South African resources, then it's the duty of every South African to step up and play their part to protect what is rightfully ours for ourselves. It's not trying to stop anyone.
So I'm not looking for the reasoning, I'm looking for the facts of the matter.
Okay. Jacinta here, guys, has made it very clear to this journalist, Naledi, that the problem we have here is the problem of illegal immigrants that are entering this country and consuming the resources that belongs to South Africans. But for some whatever reasons, the journalists seems to shift, not to focus on that, but to focus on making the March in March look like whatever they were doing is wrong. But unfortunately for this journalist, oh my goodness, just listen to Jacinta here.
That's why I'm correcting you, Naledi, because you're not using the correct terminology. And if you're doing that, you're going to change the situation into what it's not. Because I have said this before. It's like saying that South Africans are xenophobic for trying to enforce the law. It can't be xenophobic if we're enforcing the law. Today, we were enforcing the laws of this country by preventing people who are in the country illegally from accessing resources that they are not supposed to be accessing, because by right, those people should be getting deported and taken back to their countries. That is what we were doing, protecting South Africa. Because as a forum, because let's call it a forum, forums are all over the country. They are there to help the police to fight crime. We're doing the same thing as South African citizens. The only difference here is that in South Africa, with illegal immigrants, they always get treated with child gloves, as if they're not the same people who have broken the laws of this country and come to the country illegally. How different is March and March to a normal forum that goes to the community to fight crime? I don't see the difference with what we're doing to everything that every other forum does. Okay. We're enforcing the laws of South Africa.
Now, guys, don't forget that Jacinta here is a founder of March in March Forum, okay? Representing the people of South Africa, of course, and helping the police in fighting crime. Now, this journalist, instead of asking these questions to police, is to, guys, why aren't you helping the citizens of South Africa? Because these forums are here to help you guys fight the crime. You're being paid for this job. Why aren't you joining in and fight crime in this country and help these citizens? Instead of this journalist do that, she chooses to interrogate the people of South Africa, the citizens, South African citizens who are trying to fight crime, who are trying to fight the influx of the illegal immigrants here. She even went further to quote the Constitution of South Africa. But boy, oh boy, listen to my girl Jacinta here. And not only that, this journalist misquoted the Constitution of South Africa. Wrong move.
You know, you talk about the laws, and the channel earlier spoke to the South African Human Rights Commission that wanted to remind the public and stakeholders, and I'm going to read from the statement that we received from the Human Rights Commission, because this is what it does. You talk about laws. The Human Rights Commission says Section 27.1 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa clearly states that everyone has the right to have access to healthcare services, including reproductive health care. Then it says, this constitutional provision means that all people in South Africa, regardless of nationality, should have access to basic healthcare services. Stay with me for a little bit, because then it goes on to say, this includes South African citizens, refugees and asylum seekers, and then listen to this, documented and undocumented migrants, as well as stateless persons. So you talk about the law, but this is what our Constitution says, Jacinta.
Now you can tell how excited and jubilant the journalist was, having the support of South African Human Rights Commission, one of the useless commission, by the way, guys out there, South Africans. That South African Human Rights Commission is one of the useless commission ever. And I'm telling you, they are saying it's South African human right. It's not human writing. It's not for you, South Africans. That's one of the useless commission ever. Not for South Africans at all. I hate it with passion, I tell you. Now you can tell the journalist is having the support of the South African Human Rights Commission. We could tell that she's like, what would you say to that, Jacinta? But listen to Jacinta here, dropping facts after facts. Oh my goodness. Dropping facts after facts, sending this journalist right under the table. Gosh, I love this woman.
Okay, so Naledi, there is no part in the Constitution that says undocumented, documented people have a right to access to healthcare. The word that is used is everyone, and everyone is subject to whatever you interpret everyone to be. And also, to add to that, there is no constitution in the world, firstly, that is designed for people from outside. Every single constitution in every single country is designed for people who are citizens of that country. Second to that, there's not a single constitution in the country that contradicts itself. So how can the Constitution of South Africa say that illegal immigrants are in the country illegally and therefore need to be deported, but then that same constitution says those people must have a right to everything that South Africans have?
How brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? Guys, isn't it nice how Jacinta here exposed this twisted logic of the so-called Human Rights Commission? The commission that always looks for the loopholes in the constitution of South Africa so that they can twist it so that it suits their narrative of justifying them allowing illegal immigrants to flood this country. How dirty this Human Rights Commission is. And these journalists, guys, are so used to South Africans who don't know their rights, don't know their laws, and they're not so used to a citizen like Jacinta who could just strip everything naked and expose the lies of the so-called South African Human Rights Commission. I enjoyed every minute of it. And wait for it, she's not done yet.
It's not fair. You're interpreting the Constitution in a way that is not supposed to be interpreted. Also, the Constitution of South Africa, Section 21 of 1F, says that every single person who is in the country needs to come here legally, and also while they're here, they need to have medical insurance that makes sure that they are able to access medical care in the country because they're from outside. Why would the Constitution say bring medical insurance and then the same Constitution says come and have something for free? The word that is being misinterpreted here is everyone, and that everyone was speaking about South Africans of different races, of different color, because previously that was limited to only white people. We are not going to talk about the Constitution. Secondly, if there's a part where the government of South Africa has failed to protect South Africans using that same Constitution by protecting us from illegal immigrants who have come here and committed crime. You can't say if you are not doing your duty, then South Africans don't have a right to protect themselves. That is not fair. Because if the government is not doing their duty and protecting our borders and protecting our communities from illegal immigrants, then South Africans have a right to protect themselves. And that is a fair thing to ask of South Africans.
How about that? Bravo. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, how I like her. Ooh. And another thing that she's saying that I like so much is to say, no, why then will this Constitution contradict itself by saying, okay, the illegal immigrants are not supposed to be in South Africa, hence they need to be deported. Hence we have Lindela. That's the Constitution that says all the illegal immigrants need to be deported. How can then the Constitution says no, the illegal immigrants must be deported, and turn around and say no, those illegal immigrants, they've got the right to all the resources that belongs to South Africa? It doesn't make sense. Why would this Constitution contradict itself like that? It doesn't make sense at all. What do you think? Let me hear your comment below, and of course, if you are coming for the first time, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.